FM, WZFG, Dilworth, Fargo, Moorhead, USA. It's 4 o'clock.
From the WDAY News Center, this is Ty Schoenert, and it's time for your Flag News Update. A candidate for the District 2 seat of Cass County Commission is speaking on the importance of the group to all members of the county.
Right now, the Cass County Commission has an annual budget of $140 million, just under. Next year, they administer and oversee the Cass County Jail, which was approved this year for a $34 million expansion and addition off of federal dollars from ARPA money.
Former state legislator Ben Hansen also says the commission's reach touches things like Fargo Cass Public Health and even work at the trade schools in the county. West Fargo Cheyenne boys varsity soccer will not be participating in the state tournament.
The news comes after the school district released a statement at WDAY Radio saying an eligible student athlete participated in games throughout the fall 2022 season, resulting in those games being forfeited. A message has been sent to parents after a meeting was held with the school's activities director and coach this morning. The Mustangs have won 11 games this year and finished second in the EDC behind Fargo Davies. State tournament begins on Thursday. I'm Kyle Cornell, WDAY News First.
Thousands of rural residents and businesses in North Dakota are now in line to get enhanced or high-speed internet access. More than $47 million in federal loans and grants have been awarded to 3 North Dakota companies and cooperatives to strengthen broadband access across the most difficult areas to reach. The funding is through the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Reconnect program. Billings, Stark, Trail, Barnes, Ransom, Cass, and Richland counties are all targeted for high-speed connection. This is Ty Schoenert with The Flag and AM1100theflag.com. First at the news when you need to know.
With our oil and natural gas resources, North Dakota is making the whole nation stronger. America is more secure and energy independent thanks to North Dakota's oil and natural gas industry. We are less dependent on unfriendly foreign energy sources because of what we are producing right here in our state. It's making America better for generations. North Dakota's oil and natural gas, advancing the possibilities.
An exhaustive search not over yet in Florida. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Nearly a week after Hurricane Ian made landfall in southwest Florida.
We've now had more than 2,300 rescues, and our urban search and rescue teams with more than 1,000 personnel have gone door to door to 79,000 structures to check on occupants.
Governor Ron DeSantis also says efforts to restore power continue. President Biden visits Florida tomorrow for a first-hand briefing on relief efforts, which the White House says will include the Republican governor. The president calling out to Republican lawmakers and states imposing more abortion restrictions after the Supreme Court's overturning of Roe versus Wade.
Congress should codify the protections of Roe and do it once and for all. But right now, we're short a handful of votes. So the only way it's going to happen is if the American people make it happen.
At the second meeting of his task force on reproductive rights, singling out the University of Idaho over restrictions on contraceptive information and asking the U.S. Education Secretary to look at possible steps to protect college students and staff. Lawyers for former President Trump asking the U.S. Supreme Court to weigh in on the fight between him and the Justice Department over documents seized from his Florida estate. This as the Justice Department appeals the appointment of a special master, arguing that third-party review is delaying its criminal probe into the handling of classified documents.
The 11th Circuit had previously sided with DOJ, ruling that the classified documents could be separated from the rest for the criminal investigation. Trump's team wants more time in the appeals process and argues the appointment of a special master was never before the 11th Circuit and cannot be appealed to them. The Trump legal team request goes to Justice Clarence Thomas for consideration based on geographical jurisdiction.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Back-to-back rallies on Wall Street with a 2-day gain for the Dow of more than 1,500 points. America is listening to Fox News.
When I can't sleep, my mind just races. I think about work, the kids, but I don't think about taking melatonin because I'm afraid I'll feel groggy in the morning.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies has an optimal dose of melatonin for no next-day grogginess, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies for better sleep like never before. And try Pure Z Sleep plus next-day energy with melatonin plus extended-release B vitamins.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your... so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks Vapor Rub. Vicks Vapor Rub. Cough relieving is believing.
Mostly cloudy to partly sunny across the area for this evening with a slight chance for an isolated shower or two. We'll have a light breeze around 5 to 15, gradually turning towards the north tonight. With low temperatures dropping down towards 50, we'll gradually see decrease in clouds. Temperatures rise back to the lower 70s on Wednesday, partly cloudy and isolated shower possible through the evening with a west-northwest wind 10 to 20 and windy conditions for Thursday with highs in the upper 40s. From a Skywatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm.
Today's weather is brought to you by Summit Carbon Solutions. The ethanol industry is critical for the North Dakota economy and our farmers. Summit Carbon Solutions is opening new economic opportunities for ethanol producers and helping maintain a strong market for corn growers while generating millions of dollars in new property taxes to help local communities support our schools and hospitals. Visit SummitCarbonSolutions.com to learn how this project is driving the future of agriculture in North Dakota.
Live from the PetroServe USA studio, it's the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free.
Question of the day for you, because big meeting last night for the Fargo City Commission meeting is really, really simple. Do you feel safe in downtown Fargo? As you go down to downtown Fargo, and maybe you don't even go, but when you go, do you feel safe in downtown Fargo? Would love to know your point of view on that. We're going to dive into it. Some unbelievable stats coming out of last night's meeting, then a little heated conversation, debate, but also, you're going to like this. Also, Commissioner Dave Pepcorn dropped a little breadcrumb last night that nobody else is talking about, at least that I've seen all day throughout the media, that impacts your pocketbooks. And it's one of those things that North Dakotans cannot stand. And yet everyone just sort of let it slide. Nobody's talking about it. So we'll tell you what that is as well. Welcome to the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free. We're coming to you live from the PetroServe USA studio, helping you and America fuel better. We'd love to know your point of view on, do you feel safe in downtown Fargo? Very easy to share with us. Number to call into the show is always 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. Or you can email us studio at chrisbergshow.com. Again, studio at chrisbergshow.com. All right, I want to share some just staggering statistics with you that came in from last night's Fargo City Commission meeting. Fargo Police Chief of Police Dave Zapolsky shared some of this data with you last night. I'm going to go in an interesting order here. So let's talk about robberies in just downtown Fargo. And maybe an easy way to look at it is, not only do you feel safe in downtown Fargo, do you feel like there's been an increase in crime within downtown Fargo or not? Do you think crime has increased in downtown Fargo or not? So let me share this with you. And these are some numbers. I know it's radio, but just bear with me. I'll make it super simple. But I'm going to give you the numbers for the entire years. And then keep in mind, the data for 2022 is just through September. So not even the full year when I break this down for you. 2019, robberies in downtown Fargo, 8. 2029. 2021, 5. 8, 9, 5. 2021, 5. And 2022. In just the first 9 months, how many robberies do you think we've had in just the first 9 months? I just told you 19.8, 29, 21.5. In just the first 9 months, we've had 19. Almost 4 times as many robberies in downtown Fargo as in 2021. Let's talk about aggravated assaults. 2019, there was 31. 2020, 34. 2021, 39. So little bit of an uptick, but fairly similar numbers in the 30s. 2022, aggravated assault, 53. So you went from 39 to 53 aggravated assaults from 2021 to 2022. I'm going to share some other data with you here in a moment that just happened within a 5-hour period. Just a 5-hour period. I'm going to play a little Chief Zapolsky here in a moment and then break down some of these numbers. You're going to be like, whoa. And this is with increased police presence. These are the people that we caught. Let's get to the phone lines first, though. Again, if you want to call into the show, very easy to do. Question of the day is, do you feel safe? Do you feel safe in downtown Fargo? 701 271 1100. 701 271 1100. Let's go to line one. Tucker, welcome to the show. What's your point of view?
Hi. Yeah. So when I was in downtown Fargo this summer, there was a gentleman named Roberto Garcia, and he was charged with manslaughter in August, I believe. But I watched him assault two people. The cops arrived in downtown, and about a month later, he killed somebody. So I'm not sure why he was left out on the street when he was physically assaulting people. And it was very unsafe. It was right near the Broadway Square where my family was using the splash pad.
Wow.
Anyway, I got to go, but I just wanted to let you know that that was something that I saw, and I don't know why he was still out on the street.
Tucker, thanks for the phone call. Super producer Chris Larson, if you can look into that, por favor. Roberto Garcia, apparently assaulting people, and then allegedly, I hadn't heard the story, so allegedly, again, I don't want to say what was just mentioned because I have not confirmed this, but super producer Chris Larson, please look into Roberto Garcia and see if you can find out some information about his record as far as what's taken place here in Fargo. All right, let's dive into some of these clips from last night's show. And again, if you want to share your point of view or any thoughts, if you head down to downtown Fargo, 701-271-1100. Also, you can email the show at studio at chrisbergshow.com. Thanks to Red Wing Shoes, the one and only Red Wing Shoes. I want to share this with you as well. Email that came in from Jake says this: I've warned for many years about letting wokeism into Fargo via outsiders, non-community vested people who come in and force change. I've called elected leaders and warned them. I warned when Fargo hired a woke public school director, when Fargo hired a woke police chief, when Fargo hired a new woke equity director. Wokeism is a Marxist-based cudgel designed to create community schisms. Woke is a cancer to our communities. What did Trump say back in the day? Go woke and go broke. So that's from Jake, an email there. And again, always welcome to share your point of view. All right, here is Fargo Police Chief Dave Zabolski last night. I'm going to share with you a little bit about what he had to say.
The other thing I think is significant in the data that Lieutenant Alfeld put out there, 8 DUIs. 8 DUIs.
So 8 DUIs. Let me give you kind of a breakdown here before he explains what's going on. So at one point in August, they teamed up with the North Dakota Highway Patrol, meaning the Fargo Police Department. They said, okay, we're going to take 5 hours. Keep in mind, the information I'm going to share with you is just over a 5-hour period. And they basically, it's not a sting, but they had just an enhanced enforcement for these 5 hours in downtown Fargo. They had 10 arrests. So that's 2 an hour in downtown Fargo, 27 citations. But here's the thing to keep in mind. These are just the people that they found. 2 possessions of fentanyl. How many times have you and I talked about what's happening at the southern border? Every city in America now is a border city. The fentanyl is just flooding through our border, making it to our homes. We've seen it. We had those 4 overdose deaths where people are out, some of them just saying, hey, the first time I'm trying this, and the next thing you know, they were no longer with us on this planet. So 2 people, possessions of fentanyl. 1 had fentanyl paraphernalia. And here's the other thing. Just within 5 hours, we had 8 DUIs. It's more than 1 an hour. And again, these are just the people that they caught. Volume, please.
Is also indicative that people have too much alcohol in their systems and they're driving. Those are just 8 that we caught with the help of North Dakota Highway Patrol. So you can bet there's a lot more driving around. Again, I think as a comment was made some previously, we're fortunate that we don't have cars hitting people in all that congested downtown area. So we're working very hard on coming up with a plan to enhance presence, keep people safe, address some of these other issues that may relate to the businesses themselves to help them maybe reduce some of that and kind of find a sweet spot in the middle.
Super producer Chris Larson, thank you with the call earlier from Tucker. And here's what he has to say. He says, Mr. Garcia's charges were Class B manslaughter. Wow. Class C aggravated assault on 8/18/22. Prior to that, no convictions in Cass County are seen. So we'll have to dive into that, Tucker, because I know that there is a issue obviously right now with DAs. Um, and I don't know all the details here in Fargo specifically, but the fact that you've got a lot of these DAs and judges that are letting people out on easy. I mean, we've talked before about Jupiter Paulson, right? There's no reason that person that ended up killing Jupiter Paulson and convicted should have been on the streets. No reason whatsoever. Now, that wasn't in downtown Fargo, but it happened within Fargo. So we're talking about the safety of downtown Fargo. And the question is, do you feel safe? That was the big topic of conversation last night. I want to share with you a little bit about what John Strand says here in regards to downtown Fargo. And one of the big challenges, as you heard there, sort of from Chief Cebulski, is this idea of overconsumption. Like people are just being overserved in downtown Fargo. You presume, because look, they're in the bars, they're hanging out. Owner wants to make some money. He's just going to continue to serve. And they're trying to find ways now that they can obviously reduce the amount of consumption that's happening within downtown Fargo. One person they mentioned throughout the meeting suggests he may stop off sale around 11 p.m. So here's a little bit from John Strand in this conversation.
Hours. When do we close bars? Do we close them at 2 o'clock? And if we close them at 2 o'clock, do we allow liquor sales right up until a minute before 2 o'clock? And all the implications of that. So I think that topic is a good topic. Off sale hours. Some have suggested that we maybe pull back the closing serving time and off sales to at 11 o'clock or earlier time so that people aren't walking out of the bars, going and buying shooters and minis and pumping them in their system as they're walking down the street. And that also includes the type of product. Some say that some of those products should be looked at and the hours of the off sales. There's a discussion about point of last sale, point of last drink, POLD, POLs. That topic needs to be vetted. What's that mean? What's that mean for policies? What would that mean for changes if we consider any going forward? And the last topic I'll advance is requiring liquor establishments to have ID scanners. So these are just some suggestions from my.
So you heard in there talking about, when should bars be closed? When is last call? Should there be some changes in that policy across the wonderful city of Fargo? And I'll just share with you a quick anecdote. Someday we'll talk more about this, but I remember I had a great football coach. Many of you know the name Tyrone Willingham. He was the coach at Stanford, coach at Notre Dame, coach at University of Washington. And Tyrone Willingham was one of those disciplinarian coaches, like should have been a drill sergeant, would come in, had this really deep voice. He was like, man, here's what we're going to do today. Like he's fantastic. I mean, Coach Willingham and I are pretty close. One day, hopefully I'll have him on the show because he'll tell you stories about coaching at Notre Dame that it's not what you think. Let me just put it that way. Being the head coach at Notre Dame, not what you think, but I'll never forget because obviously we would have curfew when we'd go to bowl games and, go on the road. And you would always come in and it would be, Ben, just want to remind you, nothing good happens after midnight. Let me repeat that. Nothing good happens after midnight. And he would just lay into you like, look, if I find out that if you're out and about at 12:01, you and we are going to have a conversation. I just want to be clear. Nothing good happens after midnight. I mean, he's one of those guys, you just love him. But like when he spoke, it was like E.F. Hutton, right? Shh, it's Coach Willingham. I'm just going to be quiet and listen. He was amazing. Look him up. Tyrone Willingham. Had a chance to speak at University of Washington one time with my buddy Eli up there. And some of the stories about Notre Dame are just absolutely incredible. That is for another day because we want to continue about, do you feel safe in downtown Fargo? That is the question that we want to know from you. Do you go down there? Do you frequent much? And if so, do you feel safe? 701-271-1100. There was a little spat between Commissioner Pepcorn and some others. We're going to play that clip for you when we come back. But 701-271-1100. Of course, email us, studio@chrisbergshow.com. Thanks to Red Wing Shoes. If you're someone out there working hard and you're like, you know what, guys, my feet are just killing me. I'm in this blue-collar gig. I'm working hard, but my feet. go check out Red Wing Shoes at 3003 Main Avenue in Fargo. Teresa will sit down. She's going to customize your work boot just for you. Again, that's 3003 Main Avenue in Fargo, Red Wing Shoes.
Your farm and business depends on a reliable source for energy. PetroServe USA is the customer-owned co-op committed to being a stable source of fuel for your equipment and propane to dry your grain. We have the capacity to make sure you never run out of fuel and to keep prices stable. Dependability, competitive prices, and exemplary service. That's PetroServe USA, helping America fuel better.
PetroServe USA.
Call today.
Both Mike Huckabee and Donald Trump agree. You need to read Dick Morris's new book. It's called The Return, and it's already topping bestseller lists. Former President Trump says it's a great book and urges you to get it. And Mike Huckabee recently urged every American to read The Return. In The Return, Dick Morris explains why Trump, not DeSantis, must be the candidate in 2024. He even reveals the moves Hillary Clinton is taking to prepare to run against Trump. The Return reveals Trump's secret plan to win. Newsmax says The Return is the political book of the year. The elections are coming soon. Find out why everyone is getting The Return. An Amazon #1 bestseller. Get Dick Morris's The Return in bookstores everywhere, or check out the free offer from Newsmax and save $28. Just call 800-NEWSMAX. That's 800-NEWSMAX. Or go to thereturn911.com to get your copy today. Thereturn911.com.
Hi, this is Jake Dahl with OnSharp. I'm here with one of our clients, Nell Ticampi of Find Equine. Nell, can you tell us about what the Find Equine app does?
The premise of the app is to give people a place to buy and sell their horses.
How was the experience working with OnSharp?
Without your encouragement, I would not have the app that I have today. You gave me the confidence to push through and actually make this project happen.
Are you happy with how the app turned out?
I'm thrilled with how the app turned out. It exceeded my expectations. I had a vision for it, and it is 10 times better than even the vision that I imagined.
Would you recommend OnSharp to other companies in need of app development?
Oh, 100%. There's a lot of companies out there, but it's really the people that you need to work with that makes or breaks it.
Thank you, Nell. We highly encourage everyone to check out the Find Equine app. And if your business is in need of custom app development, you can learn more at onsharp.com/apps.
Did you know that periodontal disease is the #1 health problem in small animal patients? Hello, I'm Dr. Calderwood, a veterinary dental practitioner at Prairie Winds Veterinary Center. By 2 years of age, 80% of dogs and 70% of cats have some form of periodontal disease. If you notice a change in your pet's playful habits, breath, or facial swelling, there's a chance that your pet is suffering from mouth pain. Prairie Winds Veterinary Center can help. Call us at 701-356-5600 or learn more at prairiewindsvet.com.
Be there where you are, and I gotta get one little taste. Sugar, yes please. Won't you come and put it down on me? I'm right here.
Johnny, thanks a little Maroon 5. You get us going here, little Adam Levine. Welcome back to the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free, the fastest hour in radio. Whoosh. Time flies when you're having fun. We're talking about safety in downtown Fargo. When you head downtown, do you feel safe? Some pretty stunning stats. We kicked the show off. Just to give you a quick example, quick update. If you're just joining us, 2021, there was 5 robberies. In 2022, 19. Like almost 4 times as many robberies in downtown Fargo in a matter of 12 months. Aggravated assault, 39 in 2021, 53. 53 in 2022. Number to call into the show, 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. We're going to get to the exchange that a lot of people are beating up on Dave Pepcorn about. Also, Commissioner Pepcorn drops a little nuggets, little Easter egg that nobody else is talking about that we're going to break down for you here in just a few moments. But of course, let's get to the phone lines. This is your show. We get to create this thing together. It's like you and I building a little orchestra and choir, some music. And so let's go to Roger on line 1. Roger, welcome to the show. What's your point of view?
My point of view is what I used to live down in the Twin Cities, and that was about 25, 30 years ago. and I moved up to Fargo. It was really nice until they opened up the Bakken up there. Things were pretty good, but once they opened that up, they opened up the traffic lane for drugs and fentanyl and other things that, plus the crimes. I won't go downtown. I just don't. I try to stay home most of the time now. I just don't go out to the bars or anything anymore.
And is that because you just don't feel safe? It's too much of a hassle. What prevents you from going?
No,
down
I
there?
don't. I don't really feel safe. The thing is, even though I can handle myself, I still don't feel like, that I'm safe down there.
Got it, John.
I just don't. I don't like this. I drove through there a couple of times, and I don't go through there anymore.
Roger, thanks for the phone call. Thanks for sharing your point of view. Number to call into the show. Do you feel safe in downtown Fargo? 701-271-1100. 701-271-1100. Teresa says 2 shootings last Friday night, both in the downtown area. Teresa, I got to say, I don't even remember hearing that news. And I don't know if it's because now I'm just so numb to it that it's like, oh, hey, like growing up here, if there was even a word of a crime with a firearm, it was like you were hunkered down. It was shocking to imagine that even happening. And now you seem to hear about it maybe so much to the point, Teresa, where I didn't even hear that news. John Berg asking if you feel safe. He says, definitely not. No relation, by the way. His last name is spelled differently. If you want to email us and share your point of view, that's easy to do as well. It's studio@chrisbergshow.com. Again, studio@chrisbergshow.com. Nate says this, hey, Chris, it's simple. Get rid of the Empire, the Bismarck, and Jim Swanwick, and the downtown Fargo safety is back. Power drinking establishments and those bartenders who work there shouldn't be in business. Get rid of liquor licenses that don't require food. Get rid of, Jim from the bar industry. So some interesting points of view there as well. All right, let's get to this conversation between Commissioner Pepcorn and some others and what he had to say in regards to what's happening within downtown Fargo. I think it's interesting to note Commissioner Pepcorn within his portfolio. He is the head of the liquor board for Fargo. So just maybe keep that in mind for some context. And again, if you want to call into the show, 701-271-1100.
Multiple solutions. It isn't just one group or one solution. But the other question I think we have to ask ourselves is, when are we going to stop enabling? Right now, we're using a lot of public tax dollars to enable people. And to give an example,
This is fantastic. Stay with me here. I've got some stuff for you because he's saying, hey, we're using public tax dollars to enable a lot of people. Wait until you hear what Mayor Mahoney says. And it makes you wonder, like, do things just pay attention. Stay with me. We'll get there.
the Lord works in mysterious ways. Last Thursday, I own a property in downtown Fargo, and I was doing some perennial maintenance in the fall, and there was two a very intoxicated Native Americans sleeping right next to my building. So I called 911, and they came.
Now, Dave Pepcorn, Commissioner Pepcorn, is getting beat up, drug over the coals for making that comment about, hey, 2 Native Americans were down by his building. I understand what people are saying, because look, if you're inebriated, I don't care if you're white, Native American, Black American, Hispanic, Latino, whatever, right? All you got to say is there was 2 inebriated people down there, because I think sometimes you just got to realize the audience. You're a Fargo City Commissioner. You got to understand the audience. People are very, very sensitive right now. They use all these different languages to try and divide us. And so I think you're just as effective as a commissioner if you just say, hey, look, there's 2 people inebriated down by my building. I want to see what's going on. But as soon as you put that tag of Native American on them, you're going to have people that are going to get their feathers ruffled. And sometimes because of just, the stereotypes that have been put out there in the past. And that's about all I'm going to say about that.
Came and roasted them out, woke them up. They had slept there overnight. And then, so I followed to see where they went. They went to the engagement center. So we're providing, it's enabling. And so that engagement center, that was done in an emergency basis during COVID because the Cass County Jail was full. That engagement center has got to go. That's not staying in downtown Fargo because that's what's drawing people into downtown Fargo. We have lots of partners. Maybe they want to have the engagement center there. That'd be great. But we cannot keep enabling. We have the Cooper House. We have the Gladys Ray Shelter. We have the engagement center. And so the people that want to have help, we need to help them. But to continue to just keep these people circulating, and the officers know who most of them are. And so we're using tax money to keep them going. And so we have to solve the solution or it's just going to continue. That's just my opinion. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Preston.
Mr. Chairman, I have to respond to that. The engagement center is truly taking some individuals off the streets during the day, giving them a place to perhaps sleep it off if they have to, or just rest or socialize or whatever, shower, wash their clothes. It is a help, not a hindrance. And it's not staffed up as far as it should be or could be. Hopefully it will be better staffed in the future so that it can be open more hours instead of less. It is a part of the solution to trying to help people who have nowhere to go during the day. Provides a bathroom for them, provides a shower for them, provides a place for them to wash their clothes. So it is part of the solution, not part of the problem.
So, Mr. Chair, I'd like to respond.
That is Fargo City Commissioner Arlette Preston. Now, listen, I think this is where Dave drops the Easter egg.
And so the best thing, the best thing to do is the people that need help, that want help, we help them. The people that don't, you know what they should do during the day? Get a job. How's that? How's that being productive members? And so what we're going to talk about in the budget now is we're raising property taxes on people with seniors with fixed incomes, and we're raising the mills. And part of the reason we're raising the mills is to pay for this.
Whoa! Did you hear that? I wish you had one of those like, where I could reverse and be like, okay, let's play that again, right? Yes, you did hear that. We are raising the property taxes for the 2023 budget. How many times have you and I heard, hey, look at all this development that we're doing. This is fantastic because we're going to give all these TIFs and we're going to give these Renaissance zones. And as we do all these TIFs and Renaissance zones and property tax deals, what's going to happen? We're going to have all this additional revenue. And guess what? Your property taxes are going to go down because we're going to have so much revenue. We're not going to know what to do with all of it. And now what's happening again? They're raising the mills. Even though you've got the money coming in from the state to help pay for infrastructure, you're going to have more money coming in from the state to help pay for education. But what do they want to do? They want to go and raise the mills. Is anybody talking about that? I have not seen it. So we're going to continue the conversation. There's more to this conversation with Commissioner Pepcorn, but I just really want you to appreciate, and I'll give you, it's 2 mills. I think it ends up being like $19 a year, right? But that's what they do. Death by 1,000 cuts. The other thing that you need to stay tuned for here, coming up in the next segment, I hope we're going to get to it, is a fact about what Mayor Mahoney said. And then you can tell me, do you agree or not agree? Pretty simple, but also pretty stunning. Coming up right here next on The Chris Berg Show.
Mostly cloudy to partly sunny across the area for this evening with a slight chance for an isolated shower or two. We'll have a light breeze around 5 to 15, gradually turning towards the north tonight. With low temperatures dropping down towards 50, we'll gradually see decrease in clouds. Temperatures rise back to the lower 70s on Wednesday, partly cloudy, an isolated shower possible through the evening with a west-northwest wind 10 to 20, and windy conditions for Thursday with highs in the upper 40s. From a Skywatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm.
Hi, Gus here from Precision Concrete Cutters Ramjack North. Due to the lack of the moisture in the soil, we've been experiencing more calls regarding foundation movement. Lack of moisture causes soil to contract and pull away from your foundation. If you notice dirt pulling away from your home, you'll need to make sure that you don't have bigger issues. Cracks in your sheetrock or outside walls, sloped floors, sticking doors and windows. Contact us today at 701-280-7038. Precision Concrete Cutters, Ramjack North, your complete foundation experts.
Have you ever thought about selling your home but quickly talk yourself out of it when you consider all the repairs, cleaning, inspections, open houses, and the unknown of what price your home will actually sell at? Stop stressing. We will buy your home as is with no appraisals or costly commissions to worry about. You can even pick your closing date. Call me, John Masala with JK Property Partners at 701-306-3229 or go to fargohomevalues.com for an instant valuation.
Employers, does the competitive job market have you down? Now more than ever, make certain your pay and benefits are competitive, and High Road Partners can help. High Road Partners is a full-service employee benefits brokerage and HR firm serving small businesses in the region, helping you design a strategy to attract and retain talented employees, locally owned and operated. Let's succeed together. Visit highroadpartners.com today. highroadpartners.com.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
When a cold comes on strong, knock it out with Vicks DayQuil Severe for max strength daytime relief. Just one dose of Vicks DayQuil Severe starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to none. Power through your day with Vicks DayQuil Severe, the daytime non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, 9 to none medicine. Use as directed.
Proceed's Right Choice program this year is featuring Solo Stoves. All fire, no smoke. Solo Stoves are designed outdoor products to help create good moments that become lasting memories. Just like Proceed products create great moments that become lasting good memories. If you need seed, think Proceed. www.proceed.net.
If you have a kid in your family hunting deer for the first time, then the Red River Regional Marksmanship Center in West Fargo is offering free shooting practice. If your child is a first-time hunting license holder, they can come to the rifle range during regular hours and shoot free for 1 hour when accompanied by an adult. Offer good until the regular deer season opens in November, and they can come more than once. Certified range safety instructors are on hand during open hours to help and answer questions. Check for open hours at rrrmc.com.
All around the world, statues crumble for me. Who knows how long I've loved you?
Welcome back to the Chris Berg Show. We're asking you today, hey, do you feel safe in downtown Fargo? Number to call into the show, 701-271-1100. 701-271-1100. There's a conversation within the meeting last night just about the mental health challenges that we face right now as a society. I mean, you see it with the fentanyl overdose deaths and everything else that is happening across young women. Suicide rates are up. I mean, we're in perilous times. We really are. I mean, it is perilous times when you look at the mental health challenges that many people face. And then you put on top of it this COVID deal, long COVID. If you're someone as of late and you're like, man, I just don't feel right. I don't feel like myself, like I'm operating at an optimum level. There's a place that might be able to help, and I would encourage you to check them out. It's very easy to do. It's free, right? It's Sirius at Fargo. Give them a call, 701-566-5231. Again, that's 701-566-5231. Free consultation. You basically take a nap for an hour, non-intrusive, and you'll enjoy it. So give them a shout. Sirius of Fargo. A lot of great comments coming in. We're going to get back to this exchange between Fargo City Commissioner Dave Pepcorn and some others that were offended when he said, hey, I went down to my building. There were 2 Native Americans there that were inebriated. I said earlier, look, sometimes you got to know your audience, and I don't think you need to label people rather than just saying, hey, I had 2 inebriated people down there. This is what happened. And we're getting some really good comments. So Teresa followed up and said, hey, one was by the Rhombus guys. Apparently there were some shootings last Friday night. The other by Chubb's Pub. Lance says, hey, late at night is one thing, but when there are people sleeping on the ground and benches in the middle of the day, does not make Fargo look good to visitors. So here's some more with the exchange, which we just dropped off by letting you know, we're going to get back to this, that, oh, guess what? For the 2023 budget in Fargo, and again, nobody else is letting you know this, because the one thing that I know that North Dakotans cannot stand is property taxes. There was one property tax that you could just go, nixay, done, Dunsky forever, it would be property taxes. And last night, Fargo City Commissioner Dave Pepcorn dropped a little Easter egg, a breadcrumb, and said, hey, oh, by the way, yeah, we are going to be raising property taxes. And part of the reason is to continue to pay for some of these different centers that are helping people with mental health issues. So I'll give you an idea of what that means for you. If you're someone right now who owns a $200,000 home, your property taxes will go up $18. Doesn't sound like much, but hey, with inflation situation in our nation, $18 is $18. And it would be one thing, I think, if we could look at everybody in the city and be like, oh man, you guys are just such great stewards of our money. Like, okay, yeah, here's another 18, but that just hasn't been the case. If your home's 300 grand, $27, 400 grand, $36. So you get the deal, but anticipate that. And of course, you can always speak out against the proposed budget and say, no mas, you guys figure it out, make some cuts, but no, do not raise my taxes. Number to call in, 701-271-1100. Do you feel safe in downtown Fargo? Here's more from the exchange last night.
And so to me, the other thing is we have lots of other partners. We have other cities. Right now, the taxpayers in Fargo, we're paying the bill. And so I think we have to start asking some hard questions. And this is enabling. They don't want to say that it's enabling, but providing a place for them to have a shower and spend the day, that's enabling.
Mayor,
So thank you.
Mayor,
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Excuse me. I think we should have a conversation that's based on.
So that might be another good question to ask you, because I'm getting some text on it. Do you feel that this center, the fact that we dropped $900,000, and again, wait until you hear what Mayor Mahoney says about it, $900,000, like that's not chump change. $900,000 on this center that's allowing people to shower, hang out, Arlette Preston says socialize. I don't know if they get to watch Days of Our Lives and eat Doritos too, but is that enabling these people or not? Are we enabling more of it or not? You see what happens in cities like Vancouver. I'm not making a perfect analogy here, but just saying, you look at cities like Vancouver where they hand out needles to addicts because they say this is going to be safer. Wasn't there the story about the Biden administration? They were handing out crack pipes. Remember that? And they tried to deny it. And then they had a reporter go and just walk into Baltimore and go, yeah, I think I need this. And sure enough, here you go. Crack pipe. Here's Denise Kolpak, new city commissioner, sharing her thoughts on what Fargo City Commissioner Dave Pepcorn said.
On fact and not opinion. And sorry, we all take an oath to a code of conduct when we are sworn into this position. And as mayor, you have responsibility to uphold that code of conduct. Mm-hmm. And when a commissioner speaks with opinion and without fact and incites a conversation without data, not only is it demoralizing to city employees, it has a chilling effect on the citizens who come before this commission. So I would ask that you address this behavior.
Commissioner Pepcorn, you have vowed that you would try to do better, and I think we have to keep the facts and figures that we have. And it is dangerous to use opinions or ideas that don't necessarily cover that. I think we also have to be respectful of different nationalities and people, and sometimes it's difficult, but we have to be very careful not to call out people. And we try to do that, to be respectful to one another. I do understand that you had an event. I would challenge you to look at the engagement center because it also has a medical clinic. And in that medical clinic, we serve anywhere from 8 to 10 people a day that would not otherwise get care. Dr. Hogan recently met a
So there's Mayor Mahoney saying, hey, we got to stick to the facts. I do appreciate what he said about, you don't want to focus on a particular person, people, right? Like if you're inebriated, you're inebriated. I don't care if you're white, black, Native American, Hispanic, Latino, whatever. It's just you're inebriated, shouldn't be inebriated downtown. Lance says this, hey, when wife and I choose to go downtown for a great meal, we always make sure we're out of downtown by 10 p.m. at the latest. So again, do you feel safe in downtown Fargo? Do you feel safe in downtown Fargo? Number to call in, 701-271-1100. I want to play this for you real quick. This is also Mayor Mahoney talking about CARES money. Remember the CARES Act? Who paid for the CARES Act? Who paid for the CARES Act? I mean, you could make the argument it was China, right? Because we borrow the money from them, but they're taking our money to go out there and just spray it everywhere. Remember, that was the CARES Act, taking our money, your money, my money, and spraying it everywhere because of the COVID situation. Here's Mayor Mahoney talking about the CARES Act and the Engagement Center. Stick to the facts, right?
eval. The commission made a commitment on the engagement center 3 years ago to use CARES money to fund a $900,000. And it was also to help people find rent and rent issues and find areas in which they could be cared for or have a place to stay. We are down to the last $150,000, which is basically CARES money. So it's not costing the taxpayers any money.
Wait, what? Let me just rewind that for you for a second here. Who paid for the CARES Act? Listen again.
The medical clinic. And in that medical clinic, we serve anywhere from 8 to 10 people a day that would not otherwise get care. Dr. Hogan recently met a vet that was on the streets that used that engagement center, trying to find a job, trying to find housing, trying to find food. I think we service anywhere from 60 to 70 people a day in the engagement center, and basically they're not on the streets. They're in the engagement center getting help. And to Commissioner Preston's note, to finish our commitment to the engagement center, Jan Eliason can tell you very much what she has done, and she's done excellent work.
So it's a long meeting, trying to get through YouTube. It's difficult, but you heard him there say, look, hey, it's CARES Act money. So there's really no taxpayer money going to it. It's 900 Gs. We got 150 Gs left, but it's not taxpayer money. Taxpayers aren't going to be affected. No, taxpayers are affected. That's why we're having this stupid inflation situation in our nation, because we spent trillions and trillions of dollars of my money and your money and Mayor Mahoney's money, and a lot of times for no reason. I'm not saying the engagement center, I don't know anything about it. Maybe it's a perfect use of 900 Gs. All I want us to be clear on is, if we're going to stick to the facts, is that, hey, federal taxes are still my money and your money. One other thing I think that's important to note is John Strand. If we have time later, I will play this for you, but he talked about, look, the engagement center is great. Anybody that goes there has got a family member, and we need to, take care of these people. I just think there's a really important conversation that you and I need to have some point. In fact, I was listening to Billy Graham recently talk about this. Like, when is family going to be responsible for family? Like, when do we get back to that? God, family, country. God, family, country. God, family, country. Pretty simple, right? Simple, good, complex, bad. I'm not the surface tool in the shed. God, family, country. Stay with us when we come back. An incredible event up in Grand Forks that is really, you could say, transforming the economy of North Dakota. Something that's very important, is really going to transform our future. We're going to talk about that and much more when we come back, right here on The Chris Berg Show.
Are you suffering from neuropathy? Do you experience stabbing pain, numbness, tingling, or burning in your feet? Are you tired of sleepless nights and avoiding life due to pain? If you've been diagnosed with neuropathy or are experiencing pain or numbness in your feet, call us right now before it's too late at 701-929-7505. Neuropathy is a very serious and progressive disease where your nerves start to break down. Eventually, it leads to balance problems, falls, complete loss of independence, and it can lead lead to amputation. Our program addresses the underlying causes and doesn't simply mask your symptoms with medication. In fact, many patients start experiencing relief from their neuropathy symptoms within weeks. There's no surgery and no use of prescription drugs. Pick up the phone right now and call 701-929-7505. Call us today at Dakota Clinic of Chiropractic at 701-929-7505 today.
If you love helping adults with developmental disabilities and want to work in a culture with benefits nobody else can match, apply today at Red River Human Services. Enjoy a $17 per hour starting wage, health insurance benefits at 30 hours per week, quarterly wage adjustments, hourly increases after 90 days, and a possible $750 signing bonus. Apply now for this amazing position at rrhsf.org or call 701-235-0971 and see how great it is to work at Red River Human Services.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service also allows me to be there for my community in ways others can't. I help my hometown recover after nature strikes. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country and those I care about safe from threats. I also work with a network of professionals that help me succeed. Also, the Army National Guard's education benefits make getting a higher education a reality. Being an Army National Guard soldier makes living and serving in my community more rewarding every day. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the North Dakota Army National Guard. Aired by the North Dakota Broadcasters Association at this station.
Farmers and ranchers have a lot of choices to make. When it comes to your crop insurance needs, the team at Ag Country Farm Credit Services can simplify it all for you. Ag Country's Optimum tool will compare thousands of options based on information from your farm, which will then be used to find the right policy for your operation. Ask about the Optimum tool by contacting your local Ag Country office. Ag Country, focused on ag, focused on you.
No space to rent in this town, you're out of luck. And the reason that you had to care.
Welcome back to the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose. We are like your daily dose, your little vitamin, daily dose of truth to help set you free. Coming to you live from the PetroServe USA studio, helping you in America fuel better. We talk about this a lot. Do yourself a favor next time you're driving by a PetroServe USA. Of course, fill up the gas tank, but also go in and get some goodies. They've got the great 4 for $4. You get a pizza, 2 cookies, and a soda, all of that for just $4. Even in this storm of inflation, they've still kept it at just $4. Thank you to PetroServe USA. Go ahead and jump in there and get her done. I want to share with you another piece of email feedback that is coming into the show here in regards to this conversation about downtown Fargo and do you feel safe? Then we're going to get to an industry that is transforming our state and our economy long term. Person says, Dr. Terry Hogan, and I think that's who Mayor Mahoney just alluded to in the last comment there, but says Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer. His mission then went to the mission of the Department of DEI to ensure the city of Fargo is an equitable place to live, work, and become engaged in the community. If I remember right, his salary is around $160,000 per year. Please have him on the show and let's see how many people he's helped and how many jobs he has helped the color community find. What has he actually done? So yeah, I think it'd be great to have him on and find out, hey, what is he doing for the people of color within our community? And are they getting some more jobs or not? And what's happening in that arena? All right, let's talk about what's happening up in Grand Forks. Grand Forks has got a buzz, right? They've got this potential Fufang project, which everyone now is up in arms about. But they also have got obviously an incredible UAS industry. And right now in Grand Forks is the UAS Summit and Expo. Very special guest. He's the Economic Development Director for the Tioga Economic Development Corporation, Dennis Lindahl. Dennis, bienvenidos a mi programa. Muchas gracias por su tiempo, mi amigo.
Gracias, gracias.
I had to, because when I was in Tioga with Dennis, we had a great time talking some Spanish with some people. So, anyways, man, tell us what's happening up in Grand Forks, and if you can, kind of give us the big picture. I mean, you're big into the UAS industry. Like, where do you see this all heading for the great state of North Dakota?
Well, I don't want to overhype it, but this first day really has been a tremendous event. So first off, it got kicked off by Senator Hoeven, and they unveiled this Strato Launch is the name of the company, and it is a hypersonic drone. Some of the technology here in Grand Forks right now is literally unbelievable. What some of the stuff that's happening right here in North Dakota is, I mean, it's happening right here. So you've got, the UAS test site, you've got numerous companies, Northrop Grumman, you've got tremendous partners, and the only place in North Dakota where you have commercial, you have federal, and you have military drone operating off of the same runway. The only place in the United States of America where all of those things are happening. And so it is a tremendous thing. I don't want to oversell it, but it is really cool to be here. I feel privileged to be here.
So have you had a pizza delivered to you via drone yet?
We have not had pizza drone, but you know what? The state of North Dakota is working with a company that wants to do demonstration to deliver. Listen to this. So in these small towns, many of these small towns in Western North Dakota have pharmacies, and there are hospitals in these small towns that they have to hire a person that just runs back and forth from the pharmacy. And so what they could do is they could deliver that from a pharmacy locally, just buzz it across town, one of these small towns in North Dakota, 2,500 population, and just deliver the medicine and just have the drones going back and forth. And state of North Dakota is working on doing a demonstration of that in Tioga, North Dakota. So that is kind of exciting.
Really?
Yes.
So there's people now that are getting their prescription medication delivered via drone in North Dakota.
Well, it's a bit advanced, but they want to do demonstrations of it. They want to demonstrate that it is plausible, that it's feasible.
That is just a fascinating idea. Okay, so let's talk about this. You mentioned a hypersonic drone. So what does that mean for me? Like, why should I care?
Hypersonic drones. I mean, look at this. This thing in Ukraine. Vladimir Putin is, demonstrating their hypersonic missiles. North Korea just launched a missile that went over Japan. These hypersonics, they can intercept and overtake just regular missiles. So just the regular intercontinental ballistic missiles, these hypersonics can overtake them. And so it's tremendous for defense. It's tremendous for training. So say like you've got a naval vessel and an enemy combatant fires a hypersonic missile. They actually have these to where they can use them as targets so that they can train weapon systems, develop weapon systems, and basically the soldiers and the troops shoot at them, try to intercept them, and try to protect this nation and our warfighters.
Wow. I mean, thank you for the update, my friend. We are running out of time here. But again, Dennis Lindahl, Executive Director, Tioga Economic Development Corporation, doing just incredible work up in Tioga. So thank you, sir. We'll look forward to talking to you again very, very soon.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Have a great rest of the time up at the UAS Summit. It's up in Grand Forks today and tomorrow. And again, another just huge industry happening here in North Dakota that it's going to transform really the entire world. So thanks so much for joining us here today. Do you feel safe in downtown Fargo? You can let us know always on our email. And join us again tomorrow right here at 4 p.m.